everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Capitals Rink Report. I'm Tarik El-Bashir, and that's John. Wait. John Walton is not, in fact, here. He is probably on a beach somewhere soaking in the sunshine during this Four Nations break. Not that I'm jealous at all. Anywho, I didn't want you all to go too long without some fresh Capitals content. So recently I Zoomed with top prospect Andrew Cristall, who is having another fantastic season in the WHL. Let's check it out. So, Andrew, you've been one of the best players in the WHL all season, but then in January, you got traded from Kelowna to Spokane. Was that something you saw coming?
Yeah, I think saw a little bit coming when Kelowna got kind of awarded the Memorial Cup that maybe they're gonna move on from a couple guys, including myself. So when it did happen, and I kind of find out it's to Spokane, I was super happy and excited to kind of join the group here.
So you got traded for a player and 5 draft picks. Do I have that right?
I think something like that. Yeah.
That's got to make you feel pretty good.
Yeah, it definitely kind of showed that Spokane like wanted me here and wanted to have me. So it's definitely a big confidence boost to kind of know that you're wanted and that they think you can contribute. So yeah, it was really nice.
So I was looking at your game by game. You had a hat trick in your second contest with Spokane, and then the game after that, you had 2 goals and 3 assists against your former club, Kelowna. Why'd you have to do them like that, man?
Yeah, I know. It was kind of funny how it worked out that way. I think we had a really good game in Kelowna, and obviously it was pretty emotional kind of being back,
Yeah.
and had a really nice tribute video for me and that. But I was happy to kind of put a couple in and get a couple assists too.
What was the tribute video like? Were your eyes welling up at all?
Yeah, a little bit, a little teary eyed before the
Yeah,
game, and
sure.
I didn't really think I'd really get teary eyed or anything like that, but kind of when I was watching it, it was like, wow, like yeah, it's pretty emotional, and it was kind of cool to be back there. So yeah, I was glad I can kind of get that over with early when I got here.
So now you're with Spokane. You're having a great season. They're a good team with a lot of high end players. How does that change your mindset?
Yeah, I think I mean, when I got here, I just could kind of tell that it's a team that wants to go for the championship, believes they can do it, and for me to be able to come here as a guy that has been in the league for a little bit, and I think I can bring some really good experience, and obviously hopefully some scoring, and I think I've been providing a little bit of that, but I'm super excited and really looking forward to kind of the run we're going to go on.
How has the adjustment been? I know, when you're in the WHL, you're with billet families and you got to get used to a whole new locker room. How has that gone so far?
Yeah, I think it's gone really well. Super smooth. I think the whole organization here has been and really good and kind of bringing me in and welcoming me. And yeah, from the Vilt families to kind of just adjusting in the locker room, meeting all the new faces and all the guys on the team. It's gone pretty well so far. So I've been loving it.
So you're tied for the points lead in the WHL with 95 points. You're on pace for, let me do the math, like 132. Not too bad. Not too bad. What do you feel has helped you make such a big jump this season?
Yeah, I think just a really good training over the summer. I think obviously having a long stay at camp in Washington this upcoming year. I think in September I was there for a good amount of time and kind of right to the end, and I felt like that kind of just gave me a huge jump start in the year, and a whole lot of confidence, and kind of showing me the ability that I kind of had to play at that level. So if I could kind of stay at that and kind of come back down to junior and just kind of keep playing like that, practicing like how we were in Washington, I think it really helped me.
Yeah, I want to drill down on that a little bit. You stuck around in Caps camp for a pretty long time. What are some of the little details that you picked up from the pros that you feel like really helped you make that big jump?
Yeah, I think there's so much, just all the guys in the locker room, how they kind of treat their bodies, what they do every
Yeah.
single day to kind of take care of themselves, make sure they're ready to play, and it was just a super good learning experience for me to kind of obviously be there throughout the whole camp and seeing how each guy ramps it up right before the end, the start of the year, so that they can be ready when puck drop happens. So I think all the little things kind of help me a lot.
Yeah. When I talked to you about this time last year, you had been working really hard on your skating in season. What are some of the things that you've been trying to hone and sharpen up this year while in season?
Yeah, I think honestly, kind of just the same thing. I think a lot, maybe a little bit more time in the gym as well. I think just post games and just kind of getting some workouts in, Washington's kind of got me on a little bit of a program as well to kind of help me, stay the course. And obviously just working on my skating as well, kind of the same things last year, just kind of getting more powerful and kind of, extending my stride a bit. I think it's been helping me a lot. So I just kind of keep working on those things.
Give me an example of some of the stuff the Capitals have given you. You're talking about like a workout plan, a nutrition plan. Just give me some specifics.
Yeah, I think it's kind of the workout plan. They kind of send me workouts, and I just get them done. It's kind of run through this app, and that's been super helpful and kind of keep me in check and kind of not maybe wondering what to do, and they kind of just have it kind of simple laid out for me, and I can kind of get the work done.
Have you noticed an increase in strength?
Yeah, definitely. I think, I kind of noticed an increase of strength kind of coming into the year at the
Uh-huh.
start. And then I think I've just kind of been building on that. And I think it's definitely helped me a lot with, puck battles and, winning those 50-50 pucks and, my stride as well. So, yeah.
How about the nutrition side of things? Whenever I've talked to guys over the years, they always say, one of the biggest things they learn is, and you've talked about this here, taking care of your body is what you put in your body. Is that something you've also focused on?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's super important to kind of get the right stuff in your body, whether it's drinking water or getting your protein in, your carbs, or whatever you need. Honestly,
Yeah.
as an athlete or kind of yourself, I think it's huge and something that I definitely have honed in on and going to keep trying to stay active on it and keep getting better.
How much contact have you had with the Caps during this season?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of it's been a good amount. I think with player development staff like Jim Slater and
Uh-huh.
I've seen Cole Zig a little bit around the rink as well. So just kind of being in touch with those guys a lot and text them if I need anything or if they see anything in my game. It's been really helpful. So yeah.
So does Jim like send you clips of stuff that he noticed and maybe go through things with you?
Yeah, every now and then he'll send me a couple clips and kind of
Yeah.
talk over them and kind of tell me what he sees. And he was just out here in where we're Seattle, and he came to watch me play and talk to him after the game, see what he thinks, and that kind of situation as well. So I think all that's just kind of really helped me kind of keep on my details, and they kind of let me know what I need to keep doing or what I need to improve on as well.
One of the big stories here back in December was you not making Team Canada. I mean, not to bring that up again, but did you use that snub as maybe a little bit of fuel for your fire?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's definitely something that I wanted to be a part of. I think I could have been a part of and helped out a lot, but it's definitely some fuel to the fire for sure. That just kind of want to makes you prove everyone wrong and prove them
Sure.
wrong. So it was nice. Obviously, I got a good amount of text messages from some of the guys and like on the Caps and some of the staff as well, and just everybody
That's nice.
reaching out was meant a lot to me and
Yeah.
kind of helped me out during that time.
So you got a few months left in the season. What are you hoping to accomplish individually and also collectively?
Yeah, I think individually, just kind of keep getting better every day, and feeling confident, comfortable, and confident every game, and be a difference maker. And I think my kind of goal is just kind of be the best player on the ice every night, and something that I got to hold myself to. And then as a team, I think we got a really good team here. I think we got a shot at winning it all, and I mean that's the goal for us. I think going on a long playoff run and making the Memorial Cup. I think that's the goal. So I mean those are kind of things we're gonna be looking to do.
Well, I can't let you go without asking you about the deer over your shoulder there.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean it's not.
Is your new billet family are they a family of hunters and gatherers?
Yeah, I think maybe a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I'm
I love
not
it.
a big hunter myself, but it's it's a good little art piece, I guess. Yeah,
Andrew, this was awesome. Thanks so much for joining us, and good luck the rest of the season. We'll see you soon here in DC.
yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Speaking of prospects, we had noted prospects writer Scott Wheeler of The Athletic on an altcast a few weeks ago. And in his most recent organizational ranking, and this really stood out to me, the Capitals jumped a whopping 11 spots all the way up to number 9, thanks in large part to prospects like Ryan Leonard, Andrew Cristall, and Cole Hudson. Let's hear what Scott Wheeler had to say. Scott, you and I worked together at The Athletic for a number of years, and I know you're well respected, but I used to catch a little bit of heat from the Capitals brass because their prospect pool was ranked so low, and I was like, guys, I mean, is he wrong? And they were like, we're just giving you crap. He's not wrong. But now they've gone from like 25 to 20, and now they're all the way up to number 9. What has caused them to make that huge leap, especially this plus 11 here the last year?
Well, I think the easy explanation is Ryan Leonard and what Ryan Leonard might look like as an NHL player. But I actually think it's a lot more than that. Typically, you look at the top guy right away. But what they've done and what I think has sort of stood out, if you will, about what they've done in Washington is they've found Ilya Protas in last year's draft, one of the breakout stars of the OHL this year. They found Andrew Cristall in the second round. You go down the list, Cole Hudson in the second round last year. They've found value, I think, with where they've drafted. They haven't had the premium picks. Obviously, Ryan Leonard was a premium pick. But outside of Ryan Leonard, they haven't had the high picks, right? So credit to them for some of the guys deeper down the list. I think Ilya Protas looks like a legit NHL prospect now. He has made, for a big man, a 6'5", 6'6" player, has made some high skill plays in the OHL this year, has drawn a lot of attention from scouts post-draft. I think if you were to redraft last year's draft today, you're looking at guys like Protas going higher. You're looking at a player like Cole Hudson potentially going in the first round. That's what they've done. And Ryan Leonard's going to be the driver and the true star coming out of this group, but Andrew Cristall, probably a first-round pick if you redid it, right? So, and is frankly, if not the most talented forward in the WHL this season, then certainly in the conversation. So, and obviously almost made the Capitals out of camp as well. So just it started to add up. Now you've got 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 legit prospects coming, and Leonard's at the top of that mountaintop, but there are some others below him that allows them to sort of slot nicely.
On an aside, Scott, you'll get a kick out of this. Ilya Protas has had so many highlight moments on Twitter. I have called Alexei Ilya to his face 2 times in like the last 2 weeks. The last time he just looked at me like, Tark, what are you doing? I was like, well, you're sorry, man.
Just point to his
related.
Point to his nameplate.
Pro. They're brothers.
Point to the nameplate. But maybe Protas brothers, the latest set of brothers with the Caps, the Millers, the Hunters. One guy you didn't,
it's looking that way.
Yeah, one guy you didn't mention was Cole Hudson, and what a breakout World Junior he had, right, Scott?
Cole, I think, has established himself this year really as a star prospect. It's hard to project 5'10", 5'11" defenseman in that kind of sort of potential star stratosphere, but I think that's what we're talking about with Cole Hudson. He had a little bit of a slow start. And frankly, despite being a point per game in college, has actually had some off nights at BU this season. He spoke publicly before going to the World Juniors about not being thrilled with the way that he was playing entering the tournament, and has really found another level. I thought he was one of the 2 or 3 best defensemen at this year's World Juniors. He made some big plays. I'm very excited about Cole, and a big believer in what Cole Hudson has in front of him here over the next couple of years.
We've talked about Leonard, we've talked about Cristall, we've talked about Hudson. Those are your top 3. Who in that next group is someone we should be keeping our eye on?
Well, the one player we haven't talked about is actually their first rounder from a year ago, Tarik El-Bashir, who's had a nice follow-up season. He was kind of a breakout star of the WHL in his draft year last year for Prince George. Prince George had 2 of the best lines in junior hockey, which is pretty rare to have 6 legit high-end forward prospects. Obviously, Zach Funk was later signed out of Prince George by the Washington Capitals, so they were clearly watching both Tarik and Zach closely last season. But Tarik is a legit prospect in his own right. Was a little bit of a skinnier kid, a little bit of a late bloomer, wasn't a high pick into the WHL, kind of came out of nowhere a little bit at the start of last season and burst onto the scene, had a 90-plus point season in the WHL, got some people talking. The name of Tarik's game is really the smarts, the IQ piece. He's a right place, right time player. Doesn't wow you with his size or his physicality or burning speed, although I do think he was an underrated skater ahead of last year's draft, and he does create a number of breakaways for himself and sort of has some pull-away speed a little bit. But Tarik's game is really about right place, right time, getting open, finding soft space inside the offensive zone, backdoor tap-ins, that kind of a thing, has that sixth sense for knowing where to be on the ice. And at the NHL level, that's half the battle with a lot of these kids. Is they're all talented, and then it's about, do you know how to play the game and know how to play off of your line mates? And that's what Parasak does so well.
So everybody knows about Ryan Leonard, Scott. And, I've heard it's said numerous times he's the best player outside of the NHL. I mean, does he live up to that billing? What do you see? What makes him so good? And, I mean, a lot of people are anticipating seeing him in a Capitals sweater toward the end of the season. We'll see how everything shakes out. But talk to us about what to expect from Ryan Leonard.
Well, certainly this year, if you look at the prospects playing outside of the NHL, I think you're counting on one, maybe two hands, the number of players who are of the caliber of Ryan Leonard. You're looking at up front, it's an even smaller group. You'd be looking at Ivan Demidov, who's obviously just broken the U19 scoring record in the KHL this year. Did that this morning, actually. So it's a small list. The big question with Ryan Leonard was coming out of the NTDP, he played on the most successful line I've ever watched at the NTDP alongside Gabe Perreault and Will Smith. They were then reunited at Boston College as freshmen. And I think what has really stamped him this year, what has really stamped Leonard this year as that guy, that truly dominant force at the college level, is frankly that he's done it without Will Smith. There were a lot of people who were asking, okay, once that line is broken up, once Will Smith graduates to the NHL with the San Jose Sharks, is Ryan Leonard still going to drive the bus in the way that he has traditionally for that line, both at BC, internationally at the World Juniors a year ago in Gothenburg, and obviously before that at the NTDP? And he has, and has frankly done it at times this season without playing with Gabe Perreault as well. They've actually separated them and have separated him more recently from James Haggins and Gabe Perreault, his line mates to start the year there at BC. So with Leonard, it's a dog on a bone. He's got an NHL shot, but he's just a ferocious competitor. He goes to the guts of the ice. He bowls guys over. He wins battles. He's at the front of the net. He's in the mix in everything before and at times a little bit too much after the whistle. But he's a competitor. He brings everybody into the fight, and he can score goals, and he makes plays in big moments, and he never shies away from anybody or any moment in a game. So tons of skill on the puck. Never been the most cerebral playmaker. He's not the pass first type, but he's going to go to the net. He's going to get himself to dirty areas. He's going to attack off the wall to the inside, and he'll find those chances at the home plate area and score a lot of goals. Yeah, I think he's got a chance to be better than TJ Oshie.
Oh, okay.
Caps fans, get your jaws off the floor now. I mean, it's safe to just okay. I mean, that's just music to all Caps fans' ears right there.
So is there any doubt in your mind that at the end of this season that he's going to be in a Caps uniform?
Well, pretty unique situation, obviously, with the Capitals having the season that they're having. Typically, those guys come out of college hockey, and the true top prospects who are drafted at the top of the draft are guys who are going into sort of lower-end teams, and there's more room on a roster for them. With the Capitals, you've got depth on the wing in spades, and in saying that, I still think he's ready to make that jump and make an impact right away. I don't think he's going to step into the playoffs for them and be a star or be a sort of leading factor in a playoff series. But can he step in and give you a couple of goals over the course of a 7-game series and finish all of his checks and look like he belongs and play with good players? Absolutely. I'll be interested to see whether they incorporate him onto the power play, even if that's onto the second unit, or whether he's just a 5-on-5 guy for them as he gets his feet wet. Hopefully, we'll see how long his season lasts at BC, but they're the number one team in the country. Hopefully, for the Capitals' sake, he's A, winning a championship, but B, if he's not winning a championship, hopefully they can get him in a little bit earlier in the regular season and really see what he's made of before the playoffs come. But I think you just want him playing in a competitive environment. So if BC's in the Frozen Four, I think you're still happy with that, even if it gives you a tighter deadline before the playoffs arrive.
Scott, talk to me about Andrew Cristall.
Special offensive player. He has worked extremely hard on his skating. The knock on Andrew pre-draft was 5'9", 5'10", maybe 5'11", if you're a lucky winger who didn't play with a ton of pace. He's worked extremely hard in the offseason to correct a little bit of a clunky stride. And outside of that, I think he's a dynamic talent inside the offensive zone who's going to make a lot of plays in the NHL. And I think he's borderline special in that regard.
Wow.
Since we had Scott on, Hudson's BU Terriers beat Leonard's BC Eagles for the prestigious Beanpot title, and Hudson was named MVP of the tournament. So, folks, as you can see, the Capitals' future is bright indeed. That's it for this edition of the Rink Report. We'll see you next week when the Caps, and hopefully John, return from the break and start to ramp up for the stretch run. See you soon.